Do you believe that computer games can be art? Art in, you can look at it. You can just look at the pictures and you can be transported. You can think about things that aren't there in face value. It does you to think about a whole variety of different things about your life, about the life of the thing that you see in the picture. Do you believe that a computer game can be art? I do. Not everybody believes this. Some artists don't even believe that, and I think it's a goddamn shame. That's why I'm dedicating this video to the head artist, the defender of the crown, Jim Sachs. I'll speak more on him later, but right now it's time for some exposition. The year of our Lord, 1149, when the king returned from the Holy Land, he named 6 great warriors who had carried him to victory over the infidels. King's subjects crowded into the palace to see him grant power, wealth, and vast dominions to each of the heroes. When the knights departed from the palace, 5 rode to their new lands. One of the knights, Saxon, his horse towards Sherwood forest. those menus always went by too fast. I remember back in the day. We're given the option of 4 different characters to choose from. I always go for Geoffrey Longsword because of his swords play, and these sword action scenes can be very impossible without him. Sherwood Forest. There you visit your old friend Robin of Locksley. Many years have passed since you served with Robin and his men, but disastrous news curtails the reunion. During your journey, an assassin took the king's life. The kingdom is in chaos. There is no heir to the throne. Worse still, the crown has disappeared. Normans are assembling armies, and Saxons will fight them. Each side accuses the other of killing the king and stealing the crown. Robin tells you the struggle ahead is a task for younger men like you, he says. Only you can save England. Robin urges you to raise an army and pledges aid 3 times if you will seek to reunite the Dark Kingdom. I feel I read pretty fast, but those scenes have always gone by too fast for me to even read them. So Defender of the Crown was released in 1986 for the Commodore Amiga. A particular model would eventually be renamed the Amiga 1000. It was ported to a whole variety of systems, but make no mistake about it, this is the definitive version of Defender of the Crown. I don't care if the Atari ST or the Apple II GS, got a little bit extra game features while retaining the graphics. No, it's about more than the gameplay and the graphics. This meant something in 1986, coming out, released in a rush as it was. This meant something in 1986 for the Commodore Amiga, which transforms it above all the others. This game was like the first killer app for the Amiga. Now, Deluxe Paint might have come out before it, but you don't grab your friends, hey everybody come over and look at Deluxe Paint. This is the one my dad showed those losers with DOS, just how fucking awesome, how smart he was choosing the Amiga. This is the one I would show my friends to show how fucking awesome this computer, which came out before in America, came out before the NES, which everybody had. You showed people this game, and they were blown away. Now, Shadow of the Beast, I think, would later take this one over, but this one has something Shadow of the Beast doesn't have, and it actually has some gameplay to it. Shadow of the Beast, terrible gameplay to that game. Good luck ever beating it. This one will take you a little bit of thinking. I mean, it's not that hard of a game, but you're not going to beat it the first time, and once you do figure it all out, it's always going to be satisfying to come back to it, which is something I cannot say about Shadow of the Beast. It's kind of a strange hybrid between strategy and action games. Now, a lot of games were combining different things at the time, like Sierra, for example. They would take their adventure game like a Space Quest, and they would put that rover scene in there where you got all these fucking rocks and stuff, and you end up dying 1,000 times. It's that ridiculous. The act of combining several genres in video games at the time, not a good thing at all. This one kind of pulls it off in a different way, because this game, there's only one action sequence in this entire game that is actually required to beat the game, unlike a lot of those other combination genres. Everything else is just for fun. Right now we are going to raid a castle. That is a selective thing that we're going to do because so far I've taken some land, but I don't have that much gold right now, and I want some gold. So I noticed the brown guy had a bunch of land there, so I'm assuming he's got a whole bunch of stack of treasure somewhere hidden in there that I can take for myself. So this is where some of the beauty comes in. Now this is an action scene where you click away. I mean, it's not there's not much strategy into this sword fighting, although it's hard. And imagine having an original Amiga tank mouse back in the day. Those things, it deserved the name of tank, because it was a pain in the ass to move that thing and to click and all that stuff. But this, look at the beauty, the space in the last scene, the way this interior castle is lit. It's just fucking gorgeous, gorgeous. Now, there actually is somewhat of a strategy in this besides mashing buttons. I don't know. The way I get about somewhat winning most of the time is, you go up the stairs, you take them to about the door here, you just click your brains out there, and then you back the fuck up. Just back down those stairs, calm the fuck down, calm your tits down, wait till he comes down, and then charge him again. And I find most of the time, with Jeffrey Longsword anyway, this helps me win this, because no matter how hard you click with a lot of the other guys, you're screwed. And some of the other ports would have like a health meter and stuff, which would help you out quite a bit, but this original version does not have that. The enemy's gold, slowly advancing at the chamber, you peer inside to learn that the darkness conceals any secrets. There, glittering in the torchlight, an incredible sight meets your eye, an open chest filled with gold. Summoning your men, you take the gold and fight your way through the castle gates. The night is filled with new promise as you begin your journey home. And because we raided that guy's castle, we find ourselves with a bit of treasure here. So now we can afford to build up our army a little bit, and we can go seek some more conquest, because now I've lost some land here. So things are not looking too good at the moment. So we're gonna go visit Sherwood Forest, which I never did as a kid. I don't ever remember ever clicking on that damn forest as a kid. And yeah, I expected you, he says. After a moment of thought, he agrees to your request. I will send enough men to help you. So this gives you some extra men. It gives you some knights, and it will actually help out. You get to go to them 3 times. That really helps out in this game. And wow, I played for 20 years never even knowing about that thing. And then I think it was all an accident that I just happened to click on it once, and wow. So here we have another action scene, a gorgeous, gorgeous action scene, modeled after real castles. This is the only one that's actually required in order to win the game. You have to use this catapult, and you have to aim it at the castle walls, which can be very tricky at first, but once you get the hang of it, there is a bit of a trick. Once you get the first one, you can move your mouse a couple times, a little bit, and then you get the next one, and then you move it once more for each one, I think. Usually, that's how it goes. But imagine having that tank mouse back in the day and trying to keep your fucking hands steady. I've upgraded my tank mouse to a laser mouse on the real Amiga, and, it's a lot easier for me these days. And after you finally break the wall, you get your chance to fight them. If you don't break the wall, I can't remember if you automatically lose or if you're just at a severe disadvantage, but I'm pretty sure you want to break that wall every time if you want a chance of winning this game. So I'm going to get into it with you guys now. There's a reason I dedicated this to Jim Sachs. Now, I saw a video where he was interviewed by Matt Barton, and he almost broke down. You could hear it just in the crack of his voice, how much it affected him. And he basically said, nobody on the entire internet is showing my games correctly. The Amiga in America, it had a 4:3 aspect ratio. It is not like today. It is not in 16:9 aspect ratio. You're not supposed to see this stuff in widescreen. This is an artist who actually has, some love for his own work, and everybody is showing it wrong, and I am not exaggerating when I say everybody. They're all showing it wrong. Fans of the Amiga in Europe, look at that castle. That is modeled after an actual castle in the UK. Don't you want to see this stuff the way it was designed? Don't you want to see? Do you really think Jim Sachs didn't know what he was looking at? Do you think he didn't look at pictures? And he was actually there. He went and saw this stuff himself. That's how he could do it. And look at the UK. Look at England, guys. You guys, you're talking about nostalgia, and you remember these games because 320 by 200 NTSC games on a PAL Amiga were shown in widescreen back in the day. And they say, I've been trying to tell them this forever, but they say, no, maybe you're right, but it's nostalgia. It's nostalgic for me. Guys, this is your own country. Don't you want to see it the way the artist wanted you to see it? I have been on this issue for a very long time. It's one of the main reasons I started my channel over a year ago, and I have shown all of my American Amiga games in 4.3 from the start, including another game that Jim Sachs made, actually, which I didn't know at the time. I wasn't actually paying that much attention to the artist at the time, but Who Framed Roger Rabbit? I have already done that one. More on that in a second, but here's the jousting scene, another action scene. This is by far the worst action scene because it's one of those ones where you feel like you can never, ever get it. And in fact, I don't think I have ever, in 30 years of playing this damn game, have gotten that fucking jousting scene. I've been trying to tell people in nice ways, in some direct ways, in some smart-ass ways, everything I can think of to my best ability to try to get them to play these games correctly. And I am saying correctly, as in this is how the designer intended you to see them. There is only one correct way, and that is the way the designer saw them. Sometimes that is in PAL mode, and a lot more times than you people realize it is supposed to be in NTSC mode, because no matter how much you want to think that the Amiga was a European thing only, it was actually a thing in America too. The last battle, your men fought bravely, but luck was not with them this day. After a long siege, you lose your castle to the attacking army. As the enemy pours into the gates, you send your men into secret passages underneath the castle, passing the word to meet in Sherwood Forest. Moments later, you follow them to freedom. Together with Robin and the men of Sherwood, you will continue the struggle against Norman oppression. Slipping away from the burning castle, you vow to keep fighting until a Saxon rules the land. The end. This time I choose to go with Cedric of Rutherford. This issue, it's driven me mad over the years, and no matter what I say, I can't get anybody to change what they do. And yes, I understand that for some Europeans, that's how you saw it, and that's what you want to see, but do you understand my point of view? There are right now hundreds of playthroughs of this game online, and all of them show it how you saw it, Europeans. None of them show it how Americans saw it, which was the way it was designed. When these emulators default into PAL mode, they don't take the American perspective into any kind of consideration. History, when we are all dead, these playthroughs, provided they are still online, that's all. That's all the history. That's all these people are going to look back, and they're going to see these faces stretched. They're going to see these countries that don't look quite right. They're going to think, God, what the fuck was that artist smoking? Like, no, videos are showing this right. Christ. You've got to change, guys. You fight to the best of your ability, but you are captured. Going after the lady, that's Cedric for you. He sucks. A lot of you are probably listening to me and thinking, what a fucking asshole this guy is. Listen, this is my video on my channel. I do not go to everybody's channel and bitch at them for their aspect ratios, unless they, specifically mention aspect ratios or in some way, or mention, something running slow, something where I can, say, okay, actually, no, it was designed this way, and that's why you think this. I don't just go and troll everybody about their fucking aspect ratios, okay? I'm very nice to these other people online, but this is my video, damn it. And I'm gonna say the things I want to say here. I am, right now, quite sadly, the only person who is playing American Amiga games the way the artist intended you to see them. And I don't want that to be the case. I do not want that to be the case anymore. I want some of you people, some of you Europeans who say you love the Amiga, I want you guys to try this out, because, gosh, I swear to God, you'll never go back to PAL mode when you play this game if you try it once. Check this out, guys. Oh my God, I won! You just witnessed, legitimately, the very first time I ever won a jousting match. It's amazing. I've never won it before. But it's going to be short-lived, I have no doubt about it. Anyway, I was starting my PAL versus NTSC video before I had seen that Jim Sachs video, because I want this information out there, because it's something I'm passionate about. And you might notice in the video, in the start of it, you can see Halloween decorations, and then later on it's more Christmas decorations. And that's because I literally gave up on it. I knew I was always going to show the videos of the games, I knew should be in 4.3. I always knew I was going to do it, but I got so sick and tired of explaining this to people, and none of them gave a shit. They either flat out rejected all of my evidence, which my evidence is overwhelming, people. If you're going to argue about the way this game is supposed to be seen, you're going to lose with me. I'm not sure why, but I have a habit of experiencing these weird bugs.
Why were they just killed?
I just went into that territory and it just said, your men are killed. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that message ever when I played this. Somehow I got that knack. I got that knack when I play these games for YouTube. Somehow I find these bugs nobody ever found before. So on the rare occasion I would convince somebody that I was right about this NTSC American 4.3 thing, most of the time they would just say, oh, well, maybe you got a point there. But this is how I remember it. This is how I remember it. You know, it's like they don't take into any account that, well, yeah, that's how you remember it, but guys, you're kind of being a little selfish, I think. This is history we're talking about, and look, nobody's showing this right. So how about you do your channel a favor and show these things a way nobody else is? Maybe you got a little advantage there. I'm sure you all have a lot more subscribers and a lot more views than I have. How about you guys be the one big channel, you know, that's showing these games correctly? And besides that, it's like, do you know how much I would kill to be able to experience a game I love and I played a million times? Do you know how much I would kill to experience that in some new light? Guys, take your bell. You remember, like, okay, say a game like a Mario or a game that you played 100 times, okay, and you've gone back and you know every little secret, nook and cranny, but then somehow you find something you never saw before. Something new, maybe a new line of dialogue or something you've never seen. And suddenly, that is when you create new memories of old games. And it's not just about nostalgia anymore. Now you've got a new memory from a modern time of this old game. Those are the things you're going to remember. You're not going to remember the 30th, 50th, 100th time you've played this particular game last year or this year compared to when you first played it or whatever. You're not going to remember those differences. Okay, you Europeans start playing some of these American games in NTSC mode, you're going to remember 2016 as the way a new memory associated with these games, because you're going to play them faster. You're going to play, the music is going to be in the right tempo. The graphics are going to be proportionally correct. The faces, everything is. You're just going to know. Even if you can't articulate all of it, you're just going to know. This is a better experience. And you're going to create a new memory. I would give anything to create a new and, you know, sometimes better memory now of these old games. I would give anything to experience just a little bit of something new from back in the day. I don't understand why some of you guys out there, you don't want to do that. You have no interest in showing these games in NTSC 4.3. Maybe if, you know, a couple more people gave a shit about me, which they don't, maybe I wouldn't care so much about you guys showing this stuff, right? Because maybe I would have the market cornered for this stuff. But listen, guys, I have 110 subscribers, and every video gets 30 to 40 views. Nobody gives a shit about me, okay? I need you guys to start showing these videos correctly so history has a chance. Because history doesn't have much of a chance with me. I am an obnoxious, annoying asshole. True quote from a forum recently. When you actually care about something nobody else in the entire world seems to give a shit about, and you put yourself out there and to get shot at, quite frankly, people shoot at me, and there's a lot of people who do not like the way I'm trying to get this issue out there. That is very, very, very demoralizing. So, yeah. In October when I started that video, I was already, you know, fine. I'll just do it my way on my videos and forget everybody else. I stopped caring because it's that draining on you when you care this much and nobody else does. But then I saw that video, Matt Barton interview of Jim Sachs, and Jim Sachs, visibly distressed, said nobody shows my videos right, including Matt, including the interviewer, didn't show it right. And I'll make sure I get it right then. No, you didn't get it right, Matt. And as a poor interviewer, you didn't even question him. You could write an entire book about that. And you didn't even follow that up with any questions whatsoever. I could ask Jim 100 questions about aspect ratios. But I guess he had a list of questions, and you would not deviate from them. I saw Jim, and I was moved. I was moved. And I cried a little. I teared up because of the way Jim... And I felt validated, too. I had never heard any mention from any, you know, official Amiga-ish kind of source to deal with that issue. I've never heard anybody discuss it before, and it felt so goddamn validating. And then I pumped through. I went and did those videos right after I saw that interview, and I was inspired by Jim to continue the fight, to continue being called obnoxious assholes on these online forums where people don't even, come to your video and comment or anything. They just talk behind your back. And don't say I do the same thing, okay? I went to Matt and I was very nice, and you know what? He deleted my comment. I was inspired by Jim to do those videos, and this is why this one's for you, Jim. The greatest treasure. You creep into the torchlit chamber, hoping to find the kidnapped Saxon damsel, but prepared for another onslaught. At first, the room appears to be empty, and your heart fills with disappointment. As you turn to leave, a soft voice calls out from a dark corner of the chamber. She is here. In a rush of gratitude, she throws herself onto your arms. You make good your escape and begin the journey home. She accompanies you to your castle, and during the weeks that follow, gratitude turns to love. Then, late one night, you shall be gifted with the Amiga's Mona Lisa. Right here, right now. This is the greatest work of art that has ever been on this computer, and it was one of the first. What you see here, and there's like 4 ladies, I believe. I believe mine is the brunette. There are other ones too. Just it goes by so quickly. It's just nice romantic music, but what I remember seeing that as a kid the first time. I think I gave up all sense of cooties the instant I saw these beautiful women. That is the Mona Lisa, everybody, and you do not stretch the Mona Lisa. Please, I really beg somebody out there, please. Don't make me be the only one. Let's talk manuals and reviews. From a manual, it is time of legends, a time of bitter strife, when great men rise above their peers, perform great deeds. A chapter of history in the making. Your liege, the king is dead, the throne vacant. Britain enters a season of destruction, a winter of killing that can only end when the last brave Saxon knight lies dead, or the castles of the Normans lie in heaps of rubble, emptied of the foul oppressors who have enslaved your people. The back of the box is very I can see that guy's ass crack, everybody. That's a bad design right there, though. But that right there, now that's a good one. I do my best to show you guys what you're missing out when you don't read the manual. Look, you got things on the catapult. They're giving you a history lesson. You want to know about jousting? There's some jousting for you. There's another bug I found in the game where it's like stand and fight, and it's just sitting there. They're a ferocious attack. I obviously won, but it forced me to run away. It's some weird bug. Another bug I never seen before. It's weird.
Back, I'm gonna slaughter
you can hear me being quite mean in the background. I'm gonna come back and slaughter these guys. I do. Again, from the manual, how about Robin Hood, guys? Like all good legends, Robin refuses to be pinned down. Here in the manual, a testament to Jim Sachs. The castles are authentic, based upon scrutiny of the books listed herein, as well as first-hand experience. As I marvel at Jim Sachs' magnificent Norman castle looming out of my computer screen, I compare it to the snapshot I took of the castle that served as the model for my original sketches of the scene, and somehow I find reality lacking. None of our drawings or imaginations would have amounted to much without the skills of an inventive programmer, R.J. Mical, one of the creators of the Amiga. He literally willed the Amiga version into existence. From Amiga World, the great American magazine. Looking for a little adventure in your life? Try Defender of the Crown, a combination strategy, arcade, role-playing game. It takes you back to the time of stout-hearted knights and fair maidens. As a story in a strategy game, Defender of the Crown succeeds wonderfully. It only falters in its arcade sequences. Well, Defender of the Crown is not the first game I played that has a movie-like plot. It is certainly the best game that successfully combines strategy, arcade, and role-playing elements with a fun storyline and beautiful graphics and sound. Graphics, by the way, noted work of artist Jim Sachs. Does not grow stale the first time you win. It has its faults. Defender of the Crown is a giant leap forward in computer game design. It is an intelligent piece of software that will appeal to people who like to think and have fun all at the same time. And that is exactly what I believe. This game gets a little bit crapped on these days as being a little too easy maybe, or just not enough stuff in there. No. It's by far harder than most games that Amiga people choose to review, which are like, stupid little platformers or something. By far more intelligent. It is easy in the sense that you will beat it at some point, but it's a short little game, and it's a beautiful game, and you can come back to it. It's an intelligent game that you can come back to and play. I play this game at least once a year, and there's not many strategy games you can do that with, because a strategy game, it can eat up a lot of time of your life. And the memories, my God, the memories of all sorts of things, like the jousting. Memories of always losing the jousting, but there it is. Right there. I beat it again. The memories of watching my dad play this, and I would be in the corner. The Amiga was kind of in the corner, and I would run in, I would sneak, I would look at what he was doing, and then I would go to the other corner where you couldn't see the Amiga, and I would like pretend I would be like jousting in there, and I would be sword fighting, and I would go up and down the stairs of the basement while I sword fighted. 2 in a row, everybody! 2 in a row! I may have finally figured out sort of a strategy, and within the last like second before you're about to go at him, you kind of move the mouse down and to the left a little bit while you're holding the left mouse button, and then you lunge forward a little bit. It's weird. I think there is a way to get it a lot of the time, but I don't think I'm going to get it the third time in a row, unfortunately. In 1995, we got a new PC, and the Amiga was moved up to my room where I got to play it a lot, and enjoyed much, much more use until the end of the century. And Defender of the Crown was one of the games, that I managed to beat when between the ages of 10 and 15. One of those, first strategy-ish kind of games that I managed to become intelligent enough to win. And the bastard Normans kidnapped my wife. I got her out, and now determined not to rest until the last Norman is driven from this land. With the gameplay, I've actually been toying around for quite a while. You see, I have castles on every little... I could have won a long time ago, but I've been... I was that pissed off earlier, that I had to forfeit that one battle, and they kidnapped my wife, that I was just like, put a castle in every last spot. We are going to just slaughter these bastards. Slaughter them. And I've gotten so good at these castle wall breaching things that, I don't even miss them now. It's like, you get a lot of satisfaction from mastering this game. And I honestly believe this game still holds up 100% today as just what a groundbreaking title it was. It's still a fun game to play. I don't understand. I think most people do get a little charm out of it, but a lot of people, a lot of reviewers, say it's, give it, like to jab at it a little bit for being lacking in gameplay. No, this gameplay is fine. It's not the most detailed strategy game ever. No, but it is beautiful. Final victory! You have defeated the last enemy lord and restored peace. The once divided land. Now it is time to crown a new king, a Saxon king. Robin and the men of Sherwood accompany you to the palace in triumph. Entering the crowded throne room, you recall the scene. So many must go and remember an old friend who ruled the kingdom with fairness and compassion. Suddenly the crowd is alive with words. The crown has been found. Robin has produced the crown as if by magic. He was the thief who took the symbol of power after the king's death. His men have been guarding the crown in Sherwood Forest to prevent it from falling into the hands of the Normans. Grinning broadly, the noble outlaw turns the crown over to the archbishop, who begins the ceremony that will make you King of England. And now you are greeted with a fantastic overture! Oh! Beautiful, beautiful. This is a little different from the beginning. What a fantastic way. This has got to be one of the first computer games ever to actually feature a true end that didn't disappoint you in some way. That didn't just, have this stupid text or something. Like, it's triumphant. The music is triumphant. It is just one. It just, it gives you a little tiny bit of story, and then it's the end. But I adore this ending. I always forget to mention it, but I have been, for all of my Amiga game reviews, I have been posting very detailed and very different from the videos, written reviews on AmigaLove, the forum. Very, very small forum at the moment. It's like 15 members, really, but I adore this. Oh, and now the music is slowing down. What a fantastic ending to this game. AmigaLove.com if you guys want to see my written review. And if you want to see another game I've already done with Jim Sachs, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, guys? Subscribe if you don't think I'm an obnoxious asshole. And remember, play Defender of the Crown after dark, turn out the lights, get some popcorn, settle into a comfortable chair, and roll 'em!